All right, so it's been a while since I've done anything YouTube related, but I figured I needed to do an update on something like this. Cressida. It is all taken apart again, as you can see. There's motors everywhere. There's parts everywhere, all over the place. So I can do a little update on that. I'll come up here and show you the head. It still looks nice because it still hasn't been driven. There's the head. There's another head over there. There's the trans. But yeah, I'll give you a little update. The Cressida was running pretty good. Didn't like get to drive it like anywhere at any events because there's still just like, I guess I was troubleshooting problems and stuff with the ECU. So I got a standalone ECU, which was awesome. Put that in, it was running way better. Went and tried to get it tuned once and it had boost creep really bad. So I got a bigger wastegate, which is over here. Got one of those, it's a 50mm wastegate, and took it back to the dyno again. And it was doing good, sounded all fucking badass. It was making power until it wasn't making power. And about 5,000 RPMs, the oil pressure started to drop and the power started falling on its face. And when that happens, usually with all the graphs and the bar graphs and stuff, Danny, the tuner, was saying that that's about the time when motors are about to go because all this stuff was happening. It was the telltale signs of either rods or main bearings getting locked up, like it was holding it back. So I topped everything off, made sure everything was good, made sure the oil was good, and we tried to start it again and it was a slide knock. So bummer. Took it home, drained the oil was sparkly, pulled the motor, pulled the pan off, there was bearing material everywhere, and I ended up figuring out that when I did the rebuild on the lower end, I put ARP main cap and ARP rod bolts in, and I did not know that you had to get it line honed. So I guess when they were tightened down, it had more clamping force than OEM stuff. And this is what one of the bearings looks like. There's another one that looks gruesome, but I don't know where that's at. Maybe this one. This one's pretty bad. This one's super bad. Material's all gone off of it. So yeah, more clamping force. It probably messed with the tolerances because at higher RPMs things get hot. Plus with the more clamping force of the ARP stuff. So yep, that is that. The plan was just to put the head on and not mess with the bottom end, but the top of the block had lots of pitting on it. So I took it to the machine shop and I had them deck it. But to do that, you have to take apart the whole bottom end anyways. So being who I am, I wanted to overbuild it, but I didn't know about the line honing and all that stuff. I should have just put OEM bearings and OEM hardware back in because it's good for 600 horsepower. That was the plan, just put my head on and go, but I had to get it decked because I wanted a good mating surface between the block and the head. But that's the plan now. OEM rod bearings, OEM main caps, or OEM main bearings, OEM hardware for the rods and the main caps, and put it all back together. Just put the head on and take it back to Danny to get tuned at Fexi, and hopefully make high 300s, low 400 horsepower and just drive it and have fun. What else could I show you? I just wanted to do an update since I haven't done any videos because I don't have a computer, but no excuses. I'm just gonna try to start filming stuff on my phone and try to do one takes so I don't have to edit anything, just upload it to YouTube. So we'll see how this takes. But yeah, I don't know what else I could show you. I guess I could show you the crank. Where there's still bearing material right there, you can see kind of. This one down here is kind of chewed up. Yeah, I'm gonna take the crank out of this one. I might just leave the crank in there with the main bearings and just swap over rods because I have the thicker rods. This one is a VVTi NA, so it has the skinnier rods, but I have my thicker rods over here from the NA, just regular GE. That's not VVTi, and just put them in this box since the crank's good and everything like that. But I mean, if I'm putting main bearings in and I'm putting all the bearings in, I might as well change the mains also and just torque it to OEM spec this time with OEM hardware. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. Not bad. Cleaned it up the other day. Previous owners, or the previous people that worked on this block, the previous owners actually donated this block to me, so thank you, Jose and his brother Don, I think is his brother. But yeah, you guys are awesome. I appreciate that. And yeah, the people that worked on this motor before, they put the ARP headsets in, and man, these things were worked. Like, here's one, you can see it's just the threads on it are just trashed. It shouldn't have been that hard. I had to fucking double nut to get the studs out. So I will not be reusing these because I did not like the way they threaded into the head or the block. So I'll just be using the ones off of this motor. And just gotta get a head gasket and the lower end stuff, and we should be good. Just slap it all back together, put the head on, clean up a bunch of the wiring that I did previously for the stock ECU, so I can get rid of a lot more wiring and clean it up, because I have the Link G4 Plus now, so it's all standalone. I don't really want to relocate that or just reroute it, so it's a lot cleaner looking, because it comes out of the hole from the engine harness right here. I'd rather just run it through the cab and then have it come through this fucking fender right here and go into the fuse box panel right there, or not panel, the fuse box, and little distribution block I have here out of the BMW. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to get this thing back on the road and actually be able to drive it, because it's time. It's been time. It's been time for the last 2 years. It looks good. Looks decent. It's getting messed up in the garage, but it needs to drive good now. But yeah, just wanted to do a little update of all the woes that I've been going through with this car. Thought it was gonna be good. Took it to the dyno for the last time. That was the last thing it needed. It's just one good dyno session, and the rods and the mains destroyed themselves because I put the ARP stuff in there and didn't line hone it. Didn't do all the stuff I needed to, but I got stuff ready. Just need to get OEM bearings, OEM hardware, and a head gasket, and just assemble it all. Oh, I gotta clean that oil pump too, because it had lots of, well, it probably had lots of bearing material go through it also. And it's brand new. Everything doesn't have more than 30 miles on it, or more than 30 to 50 miles on it. Everything's brand new, because I rebuilt it. This head, or this block, looks great still. I kind of just want to use this one, but I want to keep the crank in that one since that's where it came from. So we're gonna use that. Just put a head on it, some bearings, some hardware, and put those bigger rod pistons in it, and we should be good to go. Good to go, hopefully. But yeah, also, if you didn't know, I'm living back in Southern California again. I had crazy life changes, so I've been down here since November. I think today is August, so a couple months. November of last year, so it's August of this year. So yeah, crazy things happening. Just gotta get it going. No excuses anymore. I wanna drive my car and do burnouts and stuff with my friends. All right, bye-bye.